Good evening and welcome to All Things Sky Blue, where I'll be doing a game preview of Coventry versus Sunderland this Saturday. I'll be joined shortly by Matt from, Wise Men Say podcast. I did remember it, Matt, when you come on. I did remember it, honestly. Apologies for that. Yeah, Wise Men Say. And I'll get him to introduce himself a little bit as well and where he's come from. So first of all I want to say is just remember where you can find us and follow us. It is scrolling down the bottom. Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We're partnered with the Anecdote Sports Bar as well. So please come down and see us on Saturday, where I'll be doing a game preview live from the Anecdote again, hopefully a little bit better than last time. Just before I do bring Matt in as well, I just want you guys to sort of remember about Lucy Summer, that's doing some fundraising next year. She'll be running for a friend Josh that's got a rare condition called hyperage syndrome and is having a life-threatening injury, operation coming up soon. So go and have a look on our TikTok for the link and go and give your support and donate as much as you can, if you can, please. So let me bring Matt in. Good evening, Matt. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you. Not too bad. Thank you very much for coming on. Much appreciated. If you want to just go through and say, sort of introduce yourself, who you are and what you guys do and where we can find you.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Matt, obviously, from Wise Men Said podcast. We've been going 10 years now, previewing, reviewing, talking about, reacting to all things Sunderland AFC. So Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, you can find us. The pods are on Spotify as well, should you want to put yourself through that. And we've been going quite a while now, so it's nice to be on a different one for a change, to be fair.
Good. Right, so let's dive straight into then and dive straight into sort of the history of Coventry versus Sunderland. We don't necessarily all of us get on because of the old days sort of thing. But I think that's we've got to kind of sweep that under the carpet now. I don't think that, for me anyway, the rivalry isn't as strong anymore. And I think it's kind of to fade out a little bit. How do you feel about the rivalry?
I think it's a little bit forced, isn't it? Sometimes it's we saw it a little bit in years gone by where, I don't know, people just seem now desperate to have rivalries with so many teams, and it's I know we don't have the best of history between us, to be fair, and I think recent years haven't helped.
No,
but I mean, it's one of them, isn't it? It's you can make of it what you will, but it does seem a bit like people do quite like to have it, I think.
Yeah, they do, don't they? Where I think we need to, calm it down and just let the football speak and let the football do the talking and stuff. There's always going to be things that, one team doesn't like about the other and stuff, but let's keep it about the football and let's keep it civilized afterwards and things like that. That's how I see it anyway. So obviously the last game that we played, I think we had the 2-1 victory at our place. I think it was Jamie Allen got the first one relatively early. You guys equalised, and then Gyökeres, when he was there, obviously he got the winner for us, like he did on so many occasions when he was with us. We have got a slightly better over the past 6. We've won 3, we've lost 2, and we've drew 1. But I think apart from the 5-4 game that we had a few seasons ago, that was just mental. It's always been quite close, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think the one that stands out, obviously, apart from that one, which was just insane, really, was the first game of last season. It was our first game back in the Championship, and
yes,
I thought for the first half of that, I thought we played really well, and then the second half, Coventry were by far the better side, and I came out of the ground that day really impressed with Coventry, thinking,
oh, okay,
the Championship's going to be quite difficult this season, and it turned out that actually you were just probably one of the better sides that we faced that season, and I think Gyökeres was phenomenal. Obviously, he got the goal, didn't he? I think on
he did.
on the opening day.
Yeah.
And I think like the away game last season, I thought we were, from what I remember, us being quite poor. It was in that spell of last season where I think we'd either just lost midweek to Rotherham or we were about to lose midweek to Rotherham, and we'd been beaten. We lost 3 in a week. I think we'd just been beaten 5-1 off Stoke. And it was through that period where it looked as if anyone, well, I wrote an article on the back of that saying that our season was over, just because we had no centre forward. We'd lost. I think we hadn't won for 6 games or something, and then lo and behold, usually what I say, the opposite happens. So I think that we managed to rejuvenate after that. But I think that 2-1 one was quite disappointing. I just thought we didn't really turn up on that game. But yeah, we've always been fairly close, even in League One.
Yeah, most definitely. I think especially towards the end of last season, I think you were, and maybe even the start of this season, if I'm honest. Obviously, we'll move on to that shortly anyway. But I think you're still quite heavily reliant on Jack Clark, aren't you, to do stuff for you? And I've said on because we do a Twitter space on a Sunday at 9 as well, and I've said on there, if you stop Jack Clark from coming inside, you kind of stop Sunderland, if I'm honest, because he is very, very instrumental for you. Do you think you are too heavily reliant on him?
I think it's an interesting one because teams have obviously wised up to it. He's surrounded quite often now. I thought he started quite quiet against Ipswich. They kind of did a job on him really, and Roberts, I'd say, has probably saw more of the ball and probably been a little bit more effective actually for me in the last couple of games. But I think Clark's so important to us because we don't have a centre forward at the minute. Still, we still don't have one, and that's the only way we can play is really out, getting the ball out wide and him either cutting in or going out wide and pulling it back across. But I think in terms of over-reliance, last season we were heavily reliant on Ahmad, and Ahmad took a lot of the defenders away from Clark because when he was in that run of form, he was terrifying. Teams couldn't deal with him. So we're moving over and concentrating. I think it opened up a little bit of space for Clark. And Clark's so talented and so direct that I think he is actually, you can put as many defenders on him as you want sometimes, but he is difficult to stop. But I think due to the nature of, I wouldn't say it's not like we don't play in terms of I'll just give it to Clark and, he'll hope for the best. But I think when we are struggling a bit, there are elements of that. And I think if you can do a job on him, sometimes it does affect the outcome of the game.
How you guys play. Yeah. That's understandable. That's understandable, I think. Obviously, we will... we'll mention it now because obviously you have mentioned the injuries and stuff. You have got a lot of injuries. How many people have you actually got out?
I think there's probably half a dozen that are out that would probably feature. Obviously, Evans, the captain, Corey Evans is out till I think Christmas.
Wow.
Ross Stewart's injured. We've got Matete who was out on loan at Plymouth last season. And he come back, and I think we're all quite looking forward to see how he's settled in. But he's out for I think 3 or 4 weeks still, maybe a bit longer actually. Might be a couple of months, but he's out. You've got Embleton still out. There might be a couple I've forgotten here off the top of my head, but even the young lad Chris Rigg, he's got concussion at the minute, so I think he's still out. And we just don't have the people to replace them. To be honest, like we don't, certainly up front, it's very much still like trying to fill it with what we can, and it's just frankly.
Well, I heard that you were playing Dak up front, weren't you?
Yeah, well, he swapped. He started up front on Saturday. He's fairly he was all right. He's good. He's got some good touches, and he's clearly a talented footballer. He just wasn't. He's not a centre forward. He swapped with Bellingham, and then he was actually quite effective as a number 9. But he's not the answer up there. Like, he's 17-year-old midfielder. Like, it's, you know.
Yeah, but obviously, you know, let's talk about a couple of new signings. Obviously, we've mentioned Bradley Dack already. What do you think? What do you think to Job? Do you think is the one for you?
I think. I mean, he's played what, 3 games? I think he's very bright. He's very talented. And you know, if he can add the finishes he did on Saturday to his game every other week, then we've got a hell of a player. It's easy to forget how young he is. Actually,
Yeah,
he's massive, and he does impose himself on the game more than you'd expect a 17-year-old lad to. I think you can see he's had a good football and education at Birmingham, much like obviously his brother.
Yeah, of course.
And I think he's a real talent. I think we've signed. I think we've tied him to a 4-year deal. But you know, if things go well, he probably won't see the end of that. To be fair.
Yeah, well, you know, I think there was a lot of clubs out there, us included, that were maybe a little bit too slow on the uptake on Job. And you guys, you know, as soon as the window, I don't think even the window ended, and you'd already got that contract signed. You know, so I think you were very smart in doing that. In all honesty, because I think there's a lot of clubs now that are kind of kicking themselves that they didn't act as quickly as you guys did. So
yeah, it's
fair play.
Really. No, it was interesting that we seemed to almost be unchallenged for him. Like, it was just sort of he's going to Sunderland. It just depended on us giving Birmingham what he wanted. I do wonder actually now Birmingham have had their takeover. Are they wondering a bit maybe?
Did we let him go too early?
Yeah,
maybe. Have you brought any other new signings in?
Yeah, we brought 2 centre halves in, Nectar Triantis from somewhere in Australia, and so a centre half called Sealt from PSV, I think, but he's injured and Triantis hasn't played. I didn't include him on the injury list because he hasn't played yet. But
right.
And who else did we bring in? We brought in obviously Bradley Dack, and we brought in Job from Birmingham. And I think that might be it, actually.
Okay.
Oh, we brought a goalkeeper in. Nathan Bishop came in from Manchester United. But yeah, I think I'm quite often wrong, and I may have forgotten one. But we haven't not made a raft of signings, I would say.
Okay, is Bishop a replacement? Is he starting or?
No, he's come in. We let Alex Bass go to Wimbledon on loan.
Okay.
Who was the number 2 last season, and Bishop. He's coming as a number 2. I think he's more capable of challenging Patterson, we hope, than Bass was, who was firmly just a number 2 really.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can give him a bit of competition, keep Patterson on his toes, but I don't see him becoming the number 1 unless, you know, we get an injury or a suspension to the goalkeeper.
Yeah. Well, obviously, form isn't necessarily on your side. Because obviously you beat Rotherham 2-1 the weekend just gone, but you have lost your 2 previous games as well. How do you think you've fared in them games? Have you deserved to lose? Do you think, or?
It's a tough one, really. I think the first 2, obviously, there were games that could have gone either way. I don't think we played particularly well in them, to be fair.
Okay.
Certainly the Ipswich game, I thought we were really poor until the last 10-15 minutes, really, when he switched it and brought Pritchard on. The Preston game, I thought we played well for the first half. We created quite a lot. In the second half, we just gave 2 stupid goals away. We created a lot in the second half. We just didn't have anybody to get on the end of the crosses. And the Rotherham game, I feel we deserved to win. Obviously, we did win that one. There were games where we can't have too many complaints about losing them for me, but also I think if we'd have got something from them, the other teams maybe couldn't have complained too much either.
Yeah.
They were very, very close.
Were they both 2-1s?
Yeah, they were. Yeah. So
but
we have a habit of this season. We've been behind in every game, so we come from behind to beat Rotherham, and we obviously lost to Crewe in the Carabao Cup. So we need to kind of score first, ideally. At some point.
Yeah. Okay. So looking at that, then obviously your form isn't necessarily the greatest. Are there any threats from us that you're worried about? Obviously, we know that we've got the connection with Sims there anyway.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else, or is Sims sort of your main person that you're worried about?
Yeah, I think Sims did a great job for us last season. It really derailed us a little bit when he was recalled by Everton. I really liked him. I thought he was great. I think he's better with someone up front. I'm not sure how you guys have been utilising him, to be fair. I saw him play at Leicester the opening day. I don't think he didn't have his best game there, probably by his own admission. But he's a worry for me because I think he's an interesting footballer. He's not in the game, and then all of a sudden, his touch is great. He's got a really good touch. He's very clever, and he's the worry. Obviously, is Godden still around?
Yeah, got
he
Godden.
seems to be one that I always hear his name when we're playing against you. But Hamer and obviously Gyökeres. I'm glad to see the back of them, I'll be honest.
So's most teams, to be fair. So's most teams. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about Sims. He hasn't started the greatest. He does play in a 2 with Godden up front as well. It's taking time for Sims to bed into the way that we play football. Maybe we play slightly different to how you guys played last season. But a few people may start getting on the back of him, and I don't think that's what he needs. I think once he's scored a goal, and if I'm honest, I think it's inevitable that he's going to score against you guys. It's written in the stars, isn't it? But we've got a guy from I can't remember where we bought him from now, but he's an American, Haji Wright, and if I'm honest, he's more in the mould of Gyökeres was. He likes to hold the ball up, turn at defenders, and power past them, and he's quite good at it. He did it against Leicester when he come on and he hit the bar. He come on at Middlesbrough. Was it Middlesbrough? Yes, he come on at Middlesbrough and scored the second goal. And he started against Swansea, and Sims was on the bench, and Sims come on.
Okay.
Now, the honest answer is, I think personally, I prefer Sims to start and Haji to come on as an impact sub, because I think maybe give him half an hour against a tired defence that that haven't got that confidence. I think that might be the way forward.
Yeah.
But I think, like I said, I think it's inevitable. I say that now. He probably won't score. He probably won't even start or come on. But it's kind of written in the stars for Sims to do something. But we've still got Sheaf. We've got Eccles. We've signed 2 really, for me, really good wing backs in Milan and De Silva on the left hand side. The back 3 at the moment, they're not conceding many goals at all. It is hard to score past them, with obviously Wilson, who got the Golden Glove last year. So it's all looking positive for us. And obviously, just going by what I've seen of your guys' form and stuff, and your results, I think that first goal is going to be important, because I think if you guys score it, I think we may draw. I think we will score, but I think if we score first and your heads go down and stuff, we're not the type of team that you played last year. We're a different kettle of fish now, and they will. I think they will go for the throat a little bit more. So it will be interesting one to see what happens.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, to be honest. I think in a game like obviously playing it at your ground, and what the atmosphere is going to be like between the two clubs. We touched on
exactly. The
past and stuff, but I've noticed I've only obviously seen the Leicester game from you, but I noticed the Middlesbrough one, you beat them 3-0, and now they've had a poor start, but that's a side that finished third last season and quite strong. Well, they didn't finish the season quite strongly. They certainly had an incredible run of form to get them there. So my worry would be going behind early doors, because I think we showed it the lads showed great strength and desire and character last season to come back from adversity with what they had against them with the injuries and just the lack of players at times, and they're so young. Like the squad is so
that's
young.
it. Yeah.
We saw it when they went down against Stoke. They were trying to. We were 3-0 down, and we were just trying to still win the game. And it was like, just stop this now. Just take. We'll just kind of take 3-0 here or 3-1, and we ended up getting beat 5. And I think the worry in a game like this is if we do go down, if we go down 1 or 2-0 early doors, the worry would be maybe a collapse. But having said that, if we get our noses in front, we could make it quite difficult for yourselves too.
Yeah, definitely, totally agree.
We aren't too far away, I would say. We're not quite. I don't think we're as strong as we were last season, and obviously we've lost Ahmad, who's just almost impossible to replace. I don't think we're too far away. I think we're 1 or 2, maybe 2 or 3 additions away from being a. I don't think we'll be challenging for promotion this season, if I'm honest.
Okay.
I think it's going to be more of a season where we're probably sort of, a lower top half.
Yeah.
I think we overachieved massively last season, and I think it's going to be really the league's probably stronger this year.
Oh yeah.
For all we overachieved last season, it did feel like a bit of an opportunity missed in the end, and I don't know if you want predictions now or if you want to.
To be fair, you've kind of jumped in on the expectations and you want to finish top half. So give us a prediction then on Saturday.
I'll go. I don't want to predict us to lose. I think we'll. No, because I've got a reputation of always predicting us to lose on my own pod, and I don't want to spread that around.
Okay, fair enough.
I think we'll get a point. I think I'll go 2-2.
Okay.
I fancy us to score. I don't know. Let's say Clark. Let's say Clark and Roberts.
Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna go for a 3-0 victory.
Fair enough.
We're a different kettle of fish at home, and I just think the way that your form has started hasn't been the best. And we're getting better and better each game, in all honesty. So, at home as well, I'm definitely going for a 3-0, maybe a 3-1. You might get the consolation goal. I'll give you, but I think we'll do enough to beat you. So, as we come towards the end, our other guest that we've had on, we do a little bit of a word association. So, I'll just say a word to you, and then just give us one word or a 2-word answer or something like that. Okay. Right. So the first one is Tony Mowbray.
Good man.
Okay. Transfer window.
Incomplete.
Okay. I'm going to say, will Jack Clark stay?
Yes.
Okay. Will Pritchard stay?
No.
Okay. One player you would like to sign by the end of the window?
Tom Cannon.
Oh, okay. And your 23-24 season finish?
10th.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you very much. So on that note, we will end it. If you can just tell us again, buddy, where we can find you and what you do.
Yeah, sure. So, Wise Men Say podcast. We're available on Spotify and the Acast and all of those sort of regular places. Socials-wise, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I believe it's at Wise Men Say Pod. We do 3. I think we do. We always do 3 pods a week. We do a preview, a reaction pod after the game, and then we'll do like a Monday sort of wrap-up debrief sort of thing. Yeah. And then we do live shows occasionally, which there is no point plugging on here, I imagine.
Well, obviously, after I've ended this, I will send you the link anyway, and you can put it out on your socials as well, and hopefully that will give us more views, because obviously you are talking about you guys as well.
Oh, that's
All right.
great, yeah.
So just on that note, then, just remember where you can find us at All Things Sky Blue on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Obviously, this will be going out onto YouTube. Please like and subscribe. We do a preview show live in the Anecdote, who we're partnered with, on a Saturday morning. So again, if you're in the Anecdote, please come and see me. And remember about Lucy Summer, that's doing the fundraising. If you go onto our post, you will see a link there to go and donate. So if you could donate anything that you can do, it'd be much appreciated. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much, Matt, for coming on. Much appreciated. I want to say all the best for Saturday, but I'm not going to. And speak to you soon. Thank you very much for coming on. Cheers, guys.
Thank you very much for having me.